We're picking up today where we left off. We got the up pipe, turbo manifold, headers, whatever you want to call it, all wrapped up. So they're good to go. And it's a bit of a snug fit. We did some modifying on the front fan support, radiator support, to kind of push it back, give us a little more wiggle room. We put the oil pan back on. Like I said, I didn't snug the nuts down very tight, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now before I forget. And I think what we're going to do is start reassembling everything. And I'll probably drop it down. I'm going to do the oil cooler lines real quick, and then we'll start reassembling everything. And once we get all put back together, we'll take a look at the downpipe and see what we have to do to address wrapping that and what kind of room we have to work with up in here. Alright, so we spruced up the shop a little bit and got this thing down on the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull these dash 10 lines for the oil cooler. And what I got here are the ProLite 350 hose. That's supposed to be good for whatever. So and it's like the nylon coated instead of the steel coated. I'm not a huge fan of the stainless steel stuff. Sometimes it can just kind of vibrate and rub back and forth, and actually, since stainless steel is a very hard metal, it can actually cut into stuff, you know, whether it's plastic or aluminum or whatever. It can actually kind of saw through it, although it's been used successfully for like, you know, decades. So it's not that big of a deal. If you got it, cool. Just make sure it's kind of secured down and not rubbing anything. We'll get those pulled. We'll get going on changing these lines out. And yeah. We have take a look at what we got for the hoses. There's a couple different convoluted ways to run it to get it from where we want to go, which is over there by that oil filter, to where we need to go, which is over here. One way is weaving it back and forth through the upper support. That's stupid, and it hits all kinds of things it doesn't need to. Simple is always the best. This is we'll shoot it right through underneath the charge pipe on the intercooler, and around the front there's plenty of room in that bumper, and we'll just run it right there. We'll take a couple zip ties and bundle both lines together so they're nice, and we'll put a little bit of rubber where it meets metal edges like this right here, and zip tie that on there. But overall, it's a simple solution. It's easy, and that's what you want. You know, try to look for the simplest solution. Especially, you know, with a race car, you want it something that's ease of maintenance. You know, you don't want to have to fight for half an hour to pull an oil cooler. If that thing catches a rock, you know, and you have to pull the lines off it and weave lines or whatever the case might be. Just keep it simple. Silly. So we're just going to take the ends off of these hoses and throw them on the new hoses. You can come along. I'll even turn off the stupid radio show that you guys probably don't want to hear. So there was like all kinds of fucking little wire dibblies, like parts inside that fitting, and I bet that's where earlier I talked about finding shit in the oil cooler. Had me kind of concerned about the engine. That's why I checked the oil. So you guys saw me dipping my hand in there like I was digging for gold. Because I found shit in the oil cooler, and it looks like it was from these stainless steel fucking braided stainless steel. It yeah, just not a huge fan, man. I mean, not saying you can't. Said millions have. I don't feel any shit on this one though. It's just on the inside of that nut, so I don't know. As you can see all the little dabbly boogers. Let's see. Take off the wide lens. Mosquitoes. It was like fucking 30 out the other day. I don't know where the goddamn mosquitoes came from. Okay. You got my finger. Can we zoom in? Can we focus? Yeah, that was all the shit that was inside the cap of that and fitting. So pretty sure now you can get the nylon braided shit for about the same price as the god damn it. Fuck. Fucking calamity. I'm pretty sure you can get the nylon braided stuff for pretty much the same price as the steel braided stuff. I know the steel braid sometimes it's just cheaper, sometimes it's more expensive. But I'm pretty sure you get both about the same. And if you can, why not? Why the hell not? How long does a can of brake cleaner last? About 3 seconds. It's like $1 a second. I really don't know what I like best, if it's acetone or denatured alcohol. If you have an opinion on the great cleaning solution debate, chime in the comments below. Don't forget to smash that like button. 3 seconds. That's all you get. So, I'm sure you know how these work, but just in case you don't, I'll show you real quick. So, got ends. What I usually do is take electrical tape like this and wrap them, and I'll take my speedy grinder because it generates heats and kind of melts as it cuts, and we'll just an angle grinder, and I'll just cut it the tip off of it so everything's nice and flush and there's not this overlap of tape and have to worry about getting in the system. So if you look at this head, you'll see it's tapered. So that actually goes inside. Well, this guy here has, on the inside, there's threads. See those big threads, big gnarly threads right in here? And then there's fine threads there. Well, this screws onto here, and as you screw it, it kind of tightens it down. And then when you stick this in, it goes inside the hose, and then these two meet up. So as this drives in, it kind of fans out and makes for a solid positive seal on the hose. And that's how they work. What I usually do is I'll take some moly lube, like some engine assembly lube or camshaft lube, the red stuff, and put that on the very tip of the inside of the hose and the fitting, and that will kind of help get that in there, because they usually don't want to go. You want to see this? So, hose gets all the way to the end of there. You just kind of screw it in. Some have, most of the ones I've worked with have had reverse pattern threads, and that helps you kind of screw it in there. These ones don't. These kind of seem like they just kind of squish on. So. This is always the challenging part. Smart thing to do is stick this in a vise. I can do that and keep the end of my hose nice and clean. You can see I got pieces of aluminum in my vise. Just take some scrap aluminum to make softballs for yourself. Just take some scrap aluminum and bend it. Then you got soft jaws. Soft jaws. Okay. Now as this screws down, you just want to watch your hose. Sometimes you can mark it. These have writing on it. These yellow, it says Earl's Line or something like that. But you want to keep an eye on it to make sure that as you're tightening this down, it's not just pushing your hose out the bottom and then you have zero connection. You want it to bite and actually do what it's supposed to do, which this one is. This one's being a good hose in. You've got to like the good hose. They just do what they're told. I appreciate the hose that just do what they're told. Alright. And I don't bottom them out. I get it like damn near bottom. And yeah, so boop, there you can see. So this one's good. So we're going to go run this, and what I like to do is, well, I'll bring you along and you can watch. What we'll do is just kind of run the line how it's going to go. Charge pipe. Under the charge pipe. One, two. I see why they did that. I see why they did that. So if I do it like this, you're not going to be able to check the oil. Which is stupid. Damn it. Alright. You always think you're more intelligent than the guys that put it together before you. But you're not. Not usually. To be quite honest. So what we got going on here is, I guess I can put it in the front. Didn't want to do that. So this guy here, if I put it on, then you're not going to be able to check the oil, which is probably important, I'm guessing. So what we'll do is we'll move this one to now. That's probably the other one. So revision of your plan, man. What I was explaining there, and very poorly I might add, was that I originally wanted to put that fitting on in the back, and if I did that, it would cover up the oil fill cap. So we were just put the 45 back on there, and it was already on there, and you know, I thought I had a better plan than the guy before me. Obviously I didn't, and now I know why it was there. Not a big deal. We just, you know, threw the 45 back in there in a 90, and there was no issues. Okay, so slight change of plan. So we were going to run those lines, and you can see them right there, and they're attached over here, and that's fine. I mean, it's a little tight to get this cap in and out, but that's just, I mean, I can't really see another way to run this with that adapter and do anything differently. They're made to go underneath where the attachment for the intake tube will go, and then around the front and through here. So the problem I ended up with is, there's always a problem, is this obviously isn't going to work because that points down. I need a 45, and I have found my AN fittings, but I don't have a 45. So I just went online and ordered one from Russell's from Henson Racing, and we'll just wait for that to show up, which isn't a horrible thing. So we'll just truck on with reassembling stuff, and that'll also just give us a little chance to double check to make sure that once we get the turbo all put back in there, and the downpipe and the intake, that our lines are we're still happy with it. So I'm not totally disappointed. Although, you know, it's like a dog with a bone. You get an idea in your head and you want to get it done to completion. But I just took those back there. We'll just let them hang. We'll start throwing this turbo kit back on, and I don't think I'm missing anything. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. So we'll throw that back on and see if we can get that done today. That'd be great. All right, once again, I want to thank everybody for joining in, watching Monkey Fab. Go to my website, monkeyfabgarage.com. Check out my wares. I can't even come close to the reassembly video and what we got left in our 20-minute period, so we're just going to wrap this up. So thanks for dropping in.